Giants. Welcome to Wake Up with Giants TV. I am Ryan Morris, and as always, I'm here with your host, Nick Smith. How are you doing, Nick?
I'm so tired. And I got a little bit of a cough, but I'm good, man. I'm good. Glad to be here. Food morning. Let's have
food morning. Now I'm hungry. Dang it. Yes.
We find ourselves adapting a little bit this morning. Our guest didn't show, which sometimes life goes that way. It's pretty awesome.
Maybe our guest did show.
Maybe she's in the audience.
Amy, you can just keep going. We'll just you just go back and forth, and Facebook user, we need you too.
So we're gonna make you our guest. We're gonna adapt.
Oh, see, and there goes Nick. Nick's out. He's gone. But sometimes that's the way it goes, guys. You know what? So I've I haven't been able to sleep. Oh, see, there he is.
Yeah, I just kicked myself out of the show.
Yeah. Well, see you later. I was ready to go without you. I was like, well, there goes Nick. Well,
all right, Al.
I'm ready.
I wiped the thing and it just went blank. I think you did that the other day.
I did that the other day too, and it totally went blank.
Yeah.
But either way, we would have made it. We would have figured it out. Oh boy, Amy wants to know about my night. Yeah. Do you want to know about it here, Nick? A little bit, like some of the things.
Let's do it. Yeah.
You know what's been interesting is just setting this up, and I'll get to that. I'm going to get to it. The universe, God, source, light, positivity, happiness, all of the good feels, the things that are good and right, and that we're finding, the vibration, the frequencies, all of those things. You might call it a different name. You might be Buddhist, atheist, whatever, Christian. It doesn't matter. Here's the beauty in we're calling it, the Giants message, the giant journey, the giant potential, the tribe of giants. What it's doing is it's attracting light. It's attracting good. It's attracting the right, the good things in life, and people are attracted to this message. And it's in the way that you've allowed it to come out is in this amazing book, The Giants and the Smalls. And that didn't just start, a year ago or year and a half ago when you and I met. We don't even know what the guest was going to speak about.
Yeah,
we never know
until we dive in.
Yeah. So we're just going to go with it. I'm going to tell us a little bit about what's going through my MySpace right now. MySpace.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about Ryan and let's do it.
So, it was before that. It was much longer than that. We all go through a journey or multiple journeys, but our life is a journey. Our life sets us up based on our choices to become, do, and have whatever we want. Now, sometimes that takes, that takes a big pill to swallow sometimes, because right now I'm the sum. I'm going to use myself so that nobody else feels bad about their choices. But I am right here, right now, because it's the sum total of my choices in life. I made a whole lot of bad choices and a whole lot of good choices to meet up with a guy named Nick Smith.
More, yeah.
Maybe it was more bad choices.
Yeah.
Damn it! This is another bad choice. Oh, Nick Smith. No, it wasn't like that at all. I didn't know the reasons. I didn't even know the reasons that I was. Hey, hello, good morning. I didn't know the reasons that I was going to meet Nick Smith in my life. They're no bad. They lead you. Yeah. Right. And we call them bad choices. I guess we put labels on them too, but they're choices. There were things that sometimes society even, I thought, hey, these things are not right, or they're bad, or they're hard, or whatever. I failed a lot, but it polished me, and that's the point, I guess, is it led me to where I'm at. It made me who I am, ready to be here. Um, yeah, they're fun choices. Yeah, I had a lot of fun choices along the way too. um, and all of the things that you went through, Nick. Maybe some of those weren't fun at all. Some
They
of them
didn't
were
feel
really.
fun.
Some
Yeah.
of them were the shitties, as
Yeah.
I've been
Some of
told
them were
lately.
pretty dark,
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yep, and that's those are needed just as much as the good choices, sometimes even more. So the point is so all of those things that came through. Marguerite, how are you? So good to see you. What a beautiful soul. And all of those things led us together, Nick. There was something that we were following our there we go. Hello, Monique. Good morning. So good to see you. You are a giant.
I love seeing your ADHD, like trying to keep up
It'll
with the
happen.
story. Yeah, it's
It's gonna
awesome.
come back
Yeah.
around. Even that. Like, I was given that as a superpower, and sometimes, you know what?
We know what you mean. Yeah.
But I didn't know the reasons why. I didn't know why, and at the time going through a spot, I was trying to control and figure out why I was there and what I was doing, and I was trying to force it, and it wasn't working, and I thought I had a path figured out, and all like it was, this is what I need to do, and this is what I want to do, and then I get a little bit more light and an understanding and knowledge and some teaching and some humbling from Nick. That um, I don't know why I had a feeling to go in and just say hi and introduce myself to Nick and find out what he's all about. But it did, and it happened. And Nick was closed off a little bit too. But through just trusting and just going forward and building a relationship, and um, light attracting light, um, we it opened up. The path opened up in front as we stepped forward, and I read the book. I saw what he was doing, and I felt like I needed to be a part of it. I have no idea how I was to be a part of it, and it didn't matter. I just felt like it was right, and we should go. It was time to move forward, and we did. And without all the details, over the next year and a half, we just moved forward step after step after step, and not knowing what was going to take place and who was going to come about, and people started showing up. The right people showed up when it was the right time. They would show up in our lives, and sometimes we would see like things but without faces. Amy talked about that, not being able to see some of the faces that she's seen in a dream or in a vision or in her mind's eye, whatever you want to call it. Those people will show up in the right moments, but they might not show up if you don't move forward, if you don't keep going in what you're doing. And um, those people have shown up in a big way recently, just in the last week or week and a half. There was some weird shift in energies, uh, and whether you believe in energy or crystals or healing or any of that, it doesn't matter, because it's light and it's good and it's positive. So you don't have to understand it. You can just look at the message behind it. I didn't believe in a lot of that stuff, and was a little bit more closed off until recently. And I was shown some things that I wrote down through Amy. So I'm glad you're here, Amy, actually, because I was shown some things, and those things that I saw all lined up and all happened. And there was the big reason I didn't know what a particular person meant, why this person. It's not necessarily for me to know why this person showed up. Um, I just trusted and went forward with it. And last night at about 2:30 in the morning, I couldn't sleep. And there's a lining up that's happening tomorrow. It's 12/20/2020 today, by the way, for those of you into synchronicity and things like that. There's an alignment with Aquarius, the stars. And basically they don't even know if it's ever happened, I think. So I haven't looked into it too much, so I don't know, and it doesn't matter anyway. But there's this energy. People aren't being able to sleep. I'm not being able to sleep. Nick woke up at 3 something a.m. and I was like, what are you doing awake? You need to go to sleep. And pretty much he had gone to sleep and woke up that early. I still hadn't gone to sleep because of some of the things that were going on. Yeah. Yes, we do need you do need some more Amy. Everyone needs some more Amy in their life. It's a powerful thing. And there's a lot of giants that are needed. Anybody, there we go. See, 800 years. See, I didn't know this stuff. Oh my gosh, I love my giants. You guys are so amazing. And I don't know all the reasons. And again, to me, the knowing the how-tos, it doesn't necessarily matter. It's the vibration and the feeling and the moving forward of that there's something big that's happening, something giant, right? Maybe that's why it makes a difference and why it feels so good, is because there's something that's giant, that's bigger than all of us. We all have our own individual way of shining or showing the light or coming forward, whether it's in religion or healing or chakras, or whatever modality that currently brings light to the world.
There's a lot of people that don't have any of those beliefs, and it still
Right.
works.
And that's what I was going to say, because they actually do. There's a light that's in them, and they don't believe certain things, and that's okay. That's totally okay. But we maybe label it as personal development or growth as well. It's the spiraling up. It's the movement forward. It's being a good person just to be a gosh damn good person. You look at somebody like a Zach, and Zach's okay with me talking about it.
You talk about me too. I'm a similar boat.
Yeah, if you're atheist or something like that, that's okay. And sometimes there's blocks when other people talk about organized religion and things like that, or push a message. But the truth about all of it is we need every ounce, every bit of good, wherever it is, whatever it is, because individually, like, you need to show up. This is what it's coming through for me, is that all of us need to show up more than we ever have, and the ones that are waking up to it. There's a lot that aren't showing up. They're just letting life happen to them however it happens. Doesn't mean they're bad people or they're not good people, because there's light and good in them too. But they're starting to wake up to their we call it, they're waking up to their giant's journey, to their giant potential, and starting down their giant path. Hello, Monique, again. Yes.
I'm going to throw a thought in there.
Dude, go. Ready, set, go.
There's a lot of people that are really hung up in fighting for the old, and fighting for that old system that I don't know, one way or the other. It might be political, it might be another way, but they get scared. They get scared of losing their freedom, their uncertainty about the future. They lose control a little bit. And what you and I did through all of this is that we pushed forward no matter. We decided that even if the world is falling apart around us, we're going to move forward in this. And what's happened is that little bit of light in the world ignited the light for others. I mean, we had a small group initially, maybe 10 of us, and then they saw that vision and that dream of the giant's journey, and then hundreds more would come in, and now we're over thousands. We're going to get into the thousands here pretty quickly. Because people are attracted to that creation. Instead of fighting and being afraid, we're moving forward. And there's a power in that moving forward. One of the things I've learned with my anxiety is that the best thing I can do is to engage with something. And so this has been that thing that's given me a focus that keeps my attention. It's not necessarily off the anxiety, but it puts it into a healthy space. It allows the anxiety to come along and to create from there. People might think that they've got to be whole or they've got to be healthy and mentally well and all this stuff to be on the Giants journey. And that's not the case at all. I mean, you could be starting at the lowest level. I don't want to say lowest level in a way that's shaming. It's just, we all start where we are. I've had times where I didn't even know I had a choice in my life. And sometimes you got to start there. And when you recognize you have a choice, you make another choice, and you start choosing things into your space, and then recognizing that you can take ownership. I think that's powerful.
Yes. Yep. 100%. And this is okay. This exactly what Marguerite is talking about. And the old way, I don't even know what to call some of these things, because I don't know. So forgive me, everybody out there who has like their niche or their sayings, they're politically correct. Okay. So I don't mean any disrespect or anything, and because it's coming from the heart space. That's what's coming up for me a lot, and that's come up in the last week and a half, is that so many people are tired of fitting in a box or a funnel, or this, you have to think this way because that's the way it's always been or done, and there's not that there's anything wrong per se with organizing it in a way that the mind can wrap itself around, like its head around. I don't know how to put that. Sandra will understand that too, or you don't know the right English word, but it's wrapping your mind around that. And organizing as a collective, Nick and I couldn't do this. We realized and recognized this is where we went right with. We have a message that's good. It's positive. It's something that even a 4-year-old little boy, right?
Yeah.
Can understand the message that's behind it and the feeling and be attracted to it. It doesn't matter. It's putting out the light and attracting. And so this message, we realized that we couldn't do it. Nick and I couldn't do it on our own. We just didn't know how or who. We're still figuring some of those things out, the how and the who. But as we moved forward, those things started to fall into place. It doesn't make it really, there's still we have to go down our own Giants journey. And sometimes it's dark, sometimes it's scary. But as you move forward, more things present themselves. The path is shown.
Yeah.
And nobody's coming. Nobody's doing this for Nick and I. If we call it our Giants journey with the Giants and the Smalls and the tribe, nobody's doing it for us. We still have to do our work. But as we've pushed forward, all of these different people have come in, and we're finding out more and more and more that we need everybody. We need all of you.
Well, and here's another thought with that too. A friend of mine shared an analogy, an old Russian analogy of the swan, the crayfish, and the pike, right?
Yeah.
And when there's energies and people have this message to carry to the world, there's this tendency to want to do it one way or the other. Like the swan wants to carry it off to the sky, and the pike to the lake, and the crayfish back to its hole. And if we pull against the load that way, then we don't move. We just don't move. And so our hope with the tribe and our League of Giants and Ryan and myself is to have all of us move in the same direction, that we can bring our differences in. Somebody might be religious. Somebody might not believe in God at all. Somebody might be a spiritualist, where they believe highly in energy, and others might not. And the goal is to get all of us moving in the same direction with our differences. I keep hearing this in my mind, the analogy of dancing. Like, we got two partners that are learning to dance, and they're both clumsy footed, maybe in a way, but we're trying to figure it out together. And so we want to learn to flow smoothly and flow in the right direction. And that's where we try and direct some of the energy towards that initiative of just reaching your highest potential. I think that's the biggest message, is that we all have it in us. It's all in there, but a lot of people have forgotten,
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. I like that analogy.
It's a good one too. Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
And taking all of your past experience, so valuable. It is so valuable because you can relate to other people. And then you can shine in your way. And we need people to show up in a giant way to come forward. And those it came very clearly that that there's so many people out there who are already waking up to that giant's journey, that are already on the path, that are moving forward, that we don't have to go rescue every single person. It got presented in a picture of a lion that said, you go wake up don't wake up every single, go after every lamb or whatever it said, but go wake up the other lions. When you have strength in those lions that are already moving forward, the power is incredible. You can take down uh, an elephant or whatever the biggest thing is, you know. Um, and I don't know what that is. I still don't know what that elephant is. We're not taking it down per se, but like the global movement of all of us linking arms and bringing forward love and light and energy to be a positive in the world, to help make a difference, um, that can just, I mean, just absolutely change the world. You talk about there's when you hit a highest level, like a Jesus, like a Buddha, like a what do you call it, Nick? Like that what's that level usually called in? Um,
Maybe a pinnacle.
yeah, like a pinnacle, like something where like it's just so high that the following behind it is so big. But you look back and even those types of people didn't do it by themselves. They went in and around and telling others that, look, you have giant potential, right? You can do this. And they went to some of the people that maybe even were shunned or looked at and despised, and the sinners, the people that were sick or afflicted, and help them realize that, look, no, it's all inside of you. You have giant potential. You can do or have anything you want to do, and we need your light to shine. And so those people didn't do it on their own, but we can't do it on our own either. You just inside the League of Giants, we have a League of Giants that's like a powerhouse of, in my mind, a powerhouse of people that have accomplished a whole bunch in their life. But they all come from different backgrounds. They all come from different modalities and things that they're doing. But collectively together, we're kind of like the Avengers. We're kind of like the Justice League, where we locked arms. There you go. There you go. I
Yeah,
love
that's
that.
perfect.
And that's it, right? Coming
Yeah.
together with, with a pure love, with unconditional love for everyone and everything. And that's what we need so bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's thank you. I like that last, I caught your last part of your question, or not. It's not a question, but man, thank you. We try, I think that's the energy of this group, is we want you to know that we're there, right? And that we're going through all these posts and commenting and sharing. Obviously, there's a lot more than there was. So you might miss us a little bit, but I try to go back through and look at every comment, every post, and make sure that I'm participating in some way and supporting you. The beauty of the giants and the smalls is that there's no rescuing, in a sense. There's no like pulling people from their struggles. It's more of showing them their strength and showing them their power, and then supporting them as they grow, and that's what this group is about. Is whatever your journey is, it doesn't matter. It's that this is a place where you can come and learn, you can come and feel supported, you can come and share your wins. It's amazing. And it's not one-sided. It's not all about one view of the world. It's all these different views. We've got people who are spiritual, we've got people who are religious, we've got people who are not. And it all comes together, and we kind of dance in this dance of becoming giants. And I love it.
It's happening. It's happening just
Yeah.
like that. There's no other way to like really get into it. It's happening, and I'm seeing it. So I spend a lot of time outside of this too, watching other giants, how they're showing up, what they're doing, and uh, when I reach out, yeah,
Yeah.
when I reach out and start talking to them about them just showing up with no agenda, no hidden thing. Like there's no we're not like dumping a whole bunch of like, hey, do this, do this. In fact, we rarely even talk about like buying the book. Do I want you to buy the book? Yeah, because
Yeah.
it's amazing. I said this the other day that if only one person was here, if there was only one person that this was helping, this is worth it. I would show up the same, and I know Nick would show up. This is what we're doing.
That's how we started. You know, we
Yeah.
started with one, and man, look how it's grown. It's great. It's amazing.
Watching those other giants, they don't know there's a lot of them, a lot that are trying to get it out and feel like that they have to get it out themselves. Like they're um, like like the pressure. I'm feeling pressure. The weight for them is so big because it's the world, right? So sometimes you can relate this to yourself and what you're going through. Sometimes there's the gravity of this big decision or something that you're going through, and so you feel like you have to take that whole thing on right now. I was experiencing this the other day with clutter in my life. There's so much stuff. Well, how do you attack it? Just one step at a time, and you don't have to do it yourself too. These giants, they're out there with that. They're moving forward in their space and their sphere, and they're feeling like I've got to do this all myself. I have this story, and yes, in your space, you have to do it yourself per se, because there's people that will relate to you, and we need you to show up. But also, there's giants out there. We're here. You're here. You're not alone. You're not by yourself. That we're doing this together. There is a collective. There's a group. Monique, you're a giant. Aaron, you're a giant. Amy, you're a giant. You're doing this. You're doing positive, happy things in your life. Keep doing those, but you're not alone. We're here, and we need you. So we're going to keep showing up, whether we have a guest show up or not, whether we have 1,000,000 show up or 1,000,000,000 or one. We're here. I mean, it doesn't look perfect. I mean, look at my background compared to Nick's. So half the time I'm in my car, stuff's not working. We don't have hair. There's a gap in my teeth. Like I don't know. There's it's not perfect, and it doesn't have to be. It satisfies me.
If being a giant was about looks, we would have failed years ago. Yeah.
It doesn't have to look a certain way either. Which this just came to me as well, because it just came up, is that like the coach, and this isn't any knock against anybody at all, but the what's starting to be the familiar and the excitement is the relatability, the Clint McKinnises of the world, that in their living room or in their kitchen, that they're showing up every day for Radness Talks, or for Sundays and Wednesdays they have a Radness Talk. And their dog's in the background. I said this to Nick. The dog's in the background. You can hear its fingernails, like, like as it's running around chasing a chew toy. And they're looking over like, shut up, like you're ruining our show. And the funny thing is no, that it's real freaking life.
Yeah.
Like that's so relatable. Just showing up and talking about how you're feeling and what you're doing and the message you're trying to get out, that's enough. And so we're Marguerite, show up and be a giant pain in the ass. If that's what you want to do, you own it and you love it. And you know what? We
There's
love
beauty
you.
in that too, though.
Yeah.
That owning it. It's not a thing that you say like, this is just who I am, deal with it, right? Like I understand that I might be a pain in the ass. I am. I know I am. And so in recognizing that and owning it and accepting it, You show love to it when you accept it. You're not shameful. You're not feeling guilty, and that those things keep you small. And so when you can accept it, then you can appreciate it. You can grow from it. And that's the beauty of it is in this tribe, we've got a group of people that are just pushing to be the best version of themselves that they can be. And so part of that starts with accepting where you are, wherever you are, that's okay. I mean, you might be a pain in the ass. That's okay. Keep working daily to shift if you can. And if it's something that's not going to shift, love yourself anyway, right? I think of Aaron, and I know Aaron a little about you, and from COVID, going through this, I'm so tired, and I can't imagine like fighting that daily, being tired every day. And that's an ongoing thing for you. And to see you fight and push forward and be a giant, regardless of your illness. And I hope you're okay with me saying that. I hope I haven't embarrassed you in any way. You push through even when you're tired, and it's amazing, and it's not like you have an option to rest. You're just tired. And I get a taste of that going through Corona here. I'm like, I'm beat. I don't know how you do this on a daily basis. And so my hat is off to you. My bald head is showing for you. No, just wherever you're at, accept it. Accept that these are the cards I was handed. This is where I'm at. And it doesn't mean anything about who I am. It's just where I'm at and where I'm starting, and I can grow from here. And man, I'm honored to have you in our tribe, Aaron. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I it's people like that push me and move me forward too. Like, I learn so much every day from all of you. And we've mentioned it like the whole town of freaking Green River,
Yeah.
like all these giants. We were messaging back and forth last night and this morning about like where the giants have come from and who's engaging where, and who, like it's incredible, like how the reach all of us, I say all of a sudden, um, because it was spreading, but it wasn't like going gangbusters. And then like going back to the power of one, few people, one or two here and there, just showing up and being excited and sharing it with their friends and their family. It's in a lot of spots. In fact, I started reading it at work to a guy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do this is important too, because you're going to have critics. You're going to have people that are in the story. There's a picture of Rit, and he's sitting there he's just sitting there, head down, and there's a couple of smalls that are just they're belittling and laughing at him, and you can't get what you want. You can't be a giant. That's not possible. That's myth. That's fiction. You're not good enough. Who are you to think that you can be that? And he's weighing it out in his mind and deciding who he listens to and who he doesn't. And I'm sure there's like an inner chaos and turmoil, and just because he's started to have a taste of this stuff, and he knows that they exist. So you could see him. He knows they exist, and but trying to believe in himself, and realizing that maybe that nobody is coming. Maybe there was that realization that, oh shit, I have to make a decision here because there is nobody coming for me. It's me. Um, doing this. He has to decide who he hangs around and who he's going to listen to and how he's going to show up. And I started sharing this because you want to share this, because it's a beautiful message, and don't not share it. Go share it. Just remember that there's going to be people that say stuff or don't understand, that might laugh at it because it's whimsical and different. And that maybe that know your past history, and so they're trying to protect you, right? Like, oh yeah, no, be safe. You don't want to do that. Come on, you can't. They might not say you can't, right to your face, but when they're in their words and their actions, that might be what they're there. It is. So I start sharing where the giants are coming from. I'm so excited, right? Like this is the tribe of giants. This is a message. This is a beautiful thing. It's love. It's happy. It's good. It's right. And I start sharing it with a coworker, and he's like, oh, yeah. What gave you the impression that I care where they're from and all that? Blah 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 blah. As I'm reading through, he goes, oh, Kearns, Utah. Ha ha ha. You've got the message all the way to Kearns. Yes, we have. All the way to Kearns. Robert Laws, we're glad you're here, man. Taylorsville, Utah, we're glad you're here. Kaysville, Utah, we're glad you're here. West Jordan, Utah, we're glad you're here. Green River, Wyoming, we're glad you're here. Australia, we're glad you showed up. Canada, thanks for being here. On and on and on and on. And as I'm reading this list, I didn't care if he was listening anymore. I don't care. Because you're showing up. He might not be showing up yet. He's not ready for it. I want him to show up because I see his giant potential. But you're showing up. Be careful who you listen to, because it could change everything and it could shut the light out for you. Rick could have very easily right then stopped. I mean, maybe it was a 50-50. I don't know what was exactly going on in his mind and his life beforehand. I don't know. We don't see that side. The whole thing. We know he was eating small, living small, playing small, but a spark hit. And right there, he had a choice to make, and he made a choice, as scary as it was. He even questioned it, right, Nick? He questioned that in one of the next pictures. I don't know if it's the exact next picture. It might be, but he looks back because there's these crossroads of things, and he's almost got. I think he's almost got his head down. Maybe we should look at this real quick.
Right there.
Yeah. Oh, there it is. Yeah. Where look at, even his hat is a little bit worried. His hat is even a little bit worried. You can see it, the feeling in his hat. It's like a sad hat. It's like, man, maybe I have to do this a little bit on my own, and I know what's waiting for me. I can see it. There you go, Monique. And because they don't know. They're scared of what you're becoming. Sometimes there's fear in the unknown and the different, and they see it in you. Thanks, Marguerite. We love you. But Rit was just, he needed to go on his own, and he decided, I'm gonna be very careful who I listen to, and thank goodness he listened to the right person. He listened to giants that were around him, supporting him up. He wanted to be part of a tribe, and so he was attracted to that tribe, whatever it looked like. We don't know. Here's the other beautiful thing about the giants and the smalls and the giant's journey. Thank you. Appreciate it. You are the Zen friend and a light. God, that's amazing. But the giants, the village of the giants, or the villages of the giants, we don't get to see all of that in the book either. We know they're there. Where did they come from? Which part of the world? Did they come from Kearns, Utah? did they come? They chose at one point too to move forward in their journey, and then they reach back and help whoever that's coming along the journey to come with them. And we don't know what their story was, their backstory. Maybe they had been through hard stuff. Well, there's no maybe about it. Maybe they had been through dark stuff that looks exactly like your journey, or very similar. We don't know, because we haven't written that part of the story yet. But I know that those giants, they had their giant journey, and that they're from all over. at different levels of growth and understanding. And when they hit that level, there's more to it. It doesn't just stop. These are things we share on a weekly basis, right?
It's a big universe. Yeah, think about it. I mean,
Yeah.
there,
What are you feeling?
well, just that, just um, you're not meant to fit in. I mean, in a way, I mean, we do fit in a new area. It's almost like you step out. I had this visual that I tried to get my brother to make, and we still might make this, but of all these white dots, right? And then all of a sudden, a red dot appears, and it's unique and it's weird, and everybody's like, this red dot doesn't belong here, and so the red dot pulls away, and he starts creating his own crowd, and so other dots join him, and they become red, and then all of a sudden, the red dots are the majority, right? And a white dot appears. And so there's this back and forth where we go from not being accepted to accepted. And then when we're accepted in mass, then it becomes us to not be accepted, right? In a way, it's to stand out always. And so it's
Didn't you share with me, and sorry to cut you off, didn't you share with me, and I'm thinking back because this is a while ago, when there was this guy dancing at a concert, right? And
yeah,
everybody's looking at this guy because he's like doing these weird moves. He's like all into it. He's
yeah,
excited,
yeah,
and everybody in the crowd. It kind of reminded me of USANA Amphitheater, where it's like grass back behind,
yeah.
and they're just sitting, and then one more person joins in. They're like, "Yeah,
Two
who
of them.
cares?"
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Now there's two, and then two more join in, and then pretty soon, like the whole joint is like going nuts and dancing. I don't know why I shared that, but it's
No,
like
it's
the
really
nuts
good.
too.
It started out, it was me and a book, right? Yeah, I wrote this 11 years ago, this book. And for years it collected the dust. It didn't do anything. And then a guy named Ryan Morris says, "Hey dude, I want to dance with you." All right, man, let's do it. And so we started
It's
being
pretty
the
weird.
weird out there dancing like this video. And it's Simon Sinek. If you guys want to look it up, I think it's Simon
Oh,
Sinek on how to create a movement, and it's powerful. And then all of a sudden we have a league, and then we have a mass of people, and now it feels safer, and even more people will come, and it's just, as we grow, we are going to get mass, and it's going to grow bigger and bigger, and it's going to become even more global. And so you just want he's a good dancer.
you don't want to see
Yeah,
like my space, right? Is like right here. You see, I don't know. I'm
yeah.
not a dancer. I'm terrible.
Well, the idea for each of the giants that are watching is you do you. You do you the way you do you, and you do you the best way that you can.
Nick,
And
you talked about too that there's that the uncomfortable. Um, you talk about there's without fear there wouldn't be courage,
yeah,
and the that like chasing happiness, right? Like it's fleeting. It's meant to be that way. Well, also the same is true in comfortable. We're also trying to seek balance and like Zen, right? Still, which is good because you need balance. The body's constantly trying to bring you back into balance,
yeah,
but
constantly.
you
Yeah,
also need to be uncomfortable because there's growth in the uncomfortable. You're not meant to be perfectly comfortable or else you won't grow. There you just be stuck the same. So yes, your weird is your giantness.
well, you're hitting it, because that's the whole purpose of this, is to grow. It's not to be stagnant. The whole giant's journey is to grow, to see how much of a giant you can become in your own way. And so you are going to find that as you grow, you're going to reach levels where you plateau, and you reach equilibrium. You come back to it, and that's a point to push again, a
Yeah.
point to keep growing.
Al, you're a giant, my friend. You have a giant story and a giant message to share, and people love you. Like you're spreading the love, man. Thank you.
Yeah.
And it's not comfortable. He's going through some stuff. Like it's been through some stuff. That's not comfortable. I promise you. Like it is not comfortable. It's not comfortable sometimes to look in the mirror and see what's inside of me staring me back at the face. That's scary. Those are the shitties, as Sandra Berger says. Those are the shitties, the things that you're like, oh crap, this is me, and I am scared and nervous, and sometimes we project that on others, like our worries and our doubts and our feelings. Those, a lot of times when that's coming up, those are the things really that we need to go back and work on ourselves to find the growth. And but Al, you are a great example of just showing up and love. You don't care what you look like, how where you've been, what you're doing. The line's open for Al. It's always open, and people are drawn to that. I was going to say something too, because like as far as fear is concerned, because a lot of times I see these people that have worked on themselves all this time, and they're polished and neat and amazing, and I think they don't have any they don't have the shitties, right? Maybe these guys don't have the shitties. That's shitty. Like, I have to look or be like that. Well, no, the truth is that they've worked on a lot of the things to get to a certain point in their lives, and so it looks different. This doesn't mean they don't feel fear. I thought for all this time, or they don't feel, or they don't have problems or issues. I thought all of these amazing coaches and these people across the pond or across the world or down under, they don't have problems. I'm seeing these people show up in an amazing way for their groups and for their people, and I like, man, they've got it. If only I could be there. Well, then I connected with an amazing person, Natasha Devine. Thank you so much for helping me see so much more, that that she has fears. But she still shows up, and she allows it to come through, and that she's scared and she's worried, and she doesn't know how it's all going to come together. That she's just trying to do good and spread love. We all have fears, but I'm thinking, you could look at Nick. Like, Nick doesn't have any fears. I get to see more of his vulnerable side than you guys do. I've been in some spots with Nick where we're just like, just a mess, really. And but the thing is that they show up, that there's growth in the uncomfortable, that they don't have to see the full vision of the picture. I just dropped a line to Natasha Devine, and not to sound like I'm Dr. Seuss here. I dropped a line to Natasha Devine, and in the middle of an hour and some odd show or podcast that she was doing, a live, she was like, "Oh my God!" And she saw what was happening with the tribe, and she's like, "I saw this, but I didn't know how it all fit in, and oh my God, oh my God," she's talking in her beautiful Australian accent, and I'm like, and her show's not perfect. It's not perfect at all, but it is, and it was coming through in such a perfect way. You're welcome, Al. We appreciate you, man. And her message just was just coming through, and it was relating our giant. I'm calling it our giant's message because it's all of ours. Our giant message was reaching Natasha Devine so deep and so powerful that we were up until 5 a.m. I didn't go to sleep until 5 a.m. and I'm not tired at all. I'll sleep at some point. I need to. We all need to sleep and rest. But it was relating, and the message was coming through so clear, and I'm sure you guys have these moments where it comes through. Thank you, Amy. Thanks to Amy, who played a part. Who, sometimes you don't know where you fit in, but you all play a part in a beautiful symphony, in a beautiful orchestra of growth and this global movement. You don't know how you fit in. Amy, you fit in, and you're needed. You're a puzzle piece. There are no bad puzzle pieces. Who said that?
You did.
Oh, did I say that? I thought you said that. I need to listen to myself more often. I thought it was from you. I was going to give you credit for what I said. There are no bad puzzle pieces. They're you open up the box and spread them out. Sometimes you can't find the damn corner, the one piece you need, but it's usually somewhere, or the dog ate part of it or whatever. But there are no bad puzzle pieces.
That's perfect. That's perfect. Any questions or comments? Man, you guys have been throwing these up. Thank you.
I'm going to read this. Is that all right? My wounds have been
Yeah.
transformed into blessings and gifts. So grateful to all those who showed up as the bad guy, so that I can learn and grow. Right? the coworker, the whoever, the abuser, the shamer, the whoever you are in your life, whatever the bad guy is to you, they're angels in disguise. I see them for their beautiful souls that they truly are, thanking them for their part in my journey. And that's a gratitude shift. That's a perspective shift. That seeing it from a different angle or a different light. That's so powerful, because you know what, my coworker who did that, he's just where he's at in his journey too, and some of that isn't seeing that growth. And he even said, I enjoy being the negative one or this or that. Okay. And you're actually probably helping some others to get a little tougher and a little stronger, and that's okay, because those are needed too. There has to be opposition. There will be opposition for growth.
Yeah.
True that. Marguerite from the Mean Street shows up. True that. I love her, and she's yay tall. Like, I don't even think she shows up to about here.
Yeah.
She's a tiny feisty little giant.
Giant. Yeah.
Awesome. We need those tiny feisty giants.
Tiny, yeah.
But so true.
This has been good, Ryan. Like your vision of it. I think most people that are a part of it have that vision for it. If we can all keep moving in the same direction, that no matter what level you're at, it doesn't matter. If you're here, you're here. You're here for a reason. You're here because you want to grow. So I don't think we exclude anybody there. Everybody's invited. Come to the table. Basically, like Paul Cardall says, there's a chair at the table for you. So yeah, and that got me emotional a little bit,
because it's truth. Yeah. When truth comes through like that, it goes into changes from the mind space and the fear and the anxieties and all the other stuff that comes from the mind space. That just came in through your mind, and then back through your heart and out your mouth, and then those are the feels. Those are the good feels, man.
4'9.5" tall.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
That's right. I love that. You got to get that extra half inch. Sometimes there's people that are like the 4 foot, 11 and 3/4 inch or whatever, 7/8 inch, and they're like, yeah, you got to get that, whatever it is.
Well, it's a beautiful thing. It's beautiful to see people coming from all over. We had our first giant from Germany the other day. We got Malaysia, Netherlands, Philippines, Japan, India, Australia, Canada, South America. We got Brazil. It's
Trinidad and Tobago. I had a conversation with someone down there. So.
Yeah, South Africa as well. And
I see this comment before it's put up. The next one from Aaron's like, "Oh my God, someone's shorter than me." Yeah, they're out there at all different heights.
Aaron's feeling tall. This is great.
That's how we want everyone to feel, right? In their own giant's journeys. We want you to feel tall. Yeah. We want you to know that you're loved and that you're heard. That you're. In fact, can I read something?
Yeah.
I didn't know that this is how Natasha does her stuff, but I sent out a thing and I said that I said, "Hey, I'm glad that we were able to connect. I believe in you. I see you. You're worthy, and I love you. Thank you for living into your giant potential, my friend. You are a giant." Okay, I said that to her, and she was like, she's like, "I'm gonna pull out my inner Mork and Mindy." She's like, "This might sound a little weird, but and all this stuff." But she said, "We are giants. I see you. I hear you. I feel you. I believe in you. I love you. You are worthy. You matter. You are enough. You're right on time. And the best is yet to come. You are magic, and together we rise and shine in love." And that, my friends, is the message that needed to come through today. That you're worthy, that you're right on time. There's nothing wrong with you. You are right on time. complete.
It's good. Okay.
Now go make it a giant day, Giants.
And let's go make it a giant world
Let's
too.
do it.
Yeah.
We are. It's happening. It's coming through. We love you. Thank you for your support. Yeah,
Yeah.
1 trillion hearts. It's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel it. We're there. And so if you haven't, for some reason you haven't joined the Tribe of Giants, come and check out the magic. If you haven't seen the book, go get it. Go read it. Pick up a digital copy. If you can't afford it, then message me. We'll figure something out.
We
But
got a way for you right now.
you need to see this message. You need to see what's happening and what's going on. And the people that are showing up, I think it's a good thing to be around. There's some stuff coming, and I don't know all of it. But it's happening and it's coming together. Go share this message. Go share it with others. However that looks to you in your space, keep showing up, one foot in front of the other. And if you need us, we're here. We're going to show up.
Thank you, Giants. Love you guys. Make it a great day.